So are you ready to PR yourself? We'll remove the mystery from all things PR, and we'll discuss everything from our top strategies to tips and tricks and everything that you can utilize to further enhance your brand or your message. I've been in media, I'm a journalist, and I'm also a publicist. I am Leah Frazier, CEO of Think3 Media, and your host for PR Yourself with Leah Frazier. Let's go. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of PR Yourself with Leah Frazier. I must say, you guys made season 1 a hit, and it made me so happy to hear from so many of you guys via email, direct message on how you're going to PR yourself better, especially as we move into 2021. So thank you so much for all the kind words, and for all of you guys that are leaning in and putting in the work. This podcast is for you. So for those of you who are looking for a little bit extra oomph for your businesses and for your brands, I have something for you. Be sure to always visit pryourselfwithleahfrazier.com. Make sure you're signed up for our email list where I send out episode recaps. I'm going to send out when I'm doing webinars, when I'm going to be live. I'm going to send out when we're offering our next live course. So be sure to sign up for that email list, pryourselfwithleahfrazier.com, and never miss an update. That way you can PR yourself better and just do bigger and better things as we move into 2021. Also, exciting news. My book, PR Yourself, will be coming in 2021. So be sure to go to pryourselfbook.com and sign up again for that email list. You're not going to want to miss when pre-sales drop. You're going to want to be the first to get this book in your hand. And I'm not kidding you guys. I was on the phone yesterday with an organization that's going to have me do a workshop in June, and they have already pre-ordered 50 copies. The manuscript is not even turned in yet, and they have pre-ordered their 50, and you're going to want to get yours too. So pryourselfbook.com. And lastly, if you're like, Leah, you know what? I need that hands-on training with you every single month, whether it's marketing, whether it's PR. Hey guys, I have something super affordable for you. You're going to want to go to think3media.com/think3edu, and you're going to sign up for our subscription service. It's only $49 a month, you guys. And what you get is you heard it right, one live session with me on a marketing or hot PR topic of the month. And then you're also going to get a mastermind session with other business and brands that are just like you, where maybe you're stuck on an issue. What we do when we mastermind together, we help you to get unstuck so that for those next 30 days before you go into the next month where we do another session, you can work on that item and take your business or your brand from one level to the next. That's what it's there for. So go to think3media.com/think3edu and sign up for our subscription service. That way you're always learning on how to market yourself better and how to PR yourself better as we move into 2021. And without further ado, enjoy this latest episode and stay tuned. Welcome back to another episode of PR Yourself with Leah Frazier. I'm telling y'all, my guests, when they come in here, they are dressed to the nines. And I know you have heard me say this probably on 2 or 3 episodes already, but I have Jenn Shertzer here with Plano magazine. She runs all things Plano, and she comes in with this beautiful like plaid orange coat, and it has the matching like printed mask, and I'm just bummy. So, I mean, they really know how to make me not feel so good about myself.
It's because I'm with you and I want to be cute for you.
They all want to be cute for me, and I'm like, I wish I had that same oomph to be cute for you guys. But thanks for joining me today.
Of course. Anything for you.
Yay. I love to hear that. So tell everybody about yourself and the magazine and what you have going on.
So, Jennifer Shertzer. I am the owner and editor of Plano magazine. Own it with my husband, Luke. And
how is that working with hubby?
Oh my gosh, everyone asks us that, and it's actually awesome until you're quarantined together. But we have the same background of graphic design, and we met in college. So it's awesome because you always have this partner who will be dead honest with you and look at your work and be like, that's horrible, change this, change that, that looks good. Whereas you can't get honest feedback like that from anybody else. So we like each other. We still like each other after quarantine, which is a really good sign. We just hit our 6th anniversary of the business.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Couldn't really celebrate, but we hit that in September. And we started PlanoMagazine.com 6 years ago. And for the first year, we're digital only. And then literally almost to the day, a year later, went to print, did our first print issue. And, still alive and kicking even through COVID. So...
Well, I mean, and I'm sure you guys have had to pivot and then pivot again. It's the word that I hate so much, but I'm like, screw it. I'll use it because everybody else is still using it. But
it's pivoting, but it's also just being hyper aware of what is going on and not being afraid to change and then change again. And I used to feel like as a business owner, and maybe you're like this too, when you're kind of a type A personality, I have to have this plan and it has to be so well thought out.
Yes.
And here's what I'm going to do in a month and then in 2 months. And here's all my deadlines. And now you have to be ready to scrap the plan, tomorrow, today, whatever. So it's pivoting. It's constantly evolving. It's changing. It's not getting tied to what's going to happen in the future because you don't know what's going to happen in the future.
Not at all.
And just reacting, being aware of what's going on and reacting constantly.
You can try to be proactive, but right now everything is just so where, like you said, you don't know.
Yeah.
And so
yeah,
you may be planning for something that you can't even effectuate.
No, I mean, think about what we all thought on New Year's Day, right? None of those plans actually.
2020, woo! This is gonna be the year of my life and the year of bum, 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 bum.
I think about people that vision board. I don't vision board. I think about those people. Did you burn it in a bonfire? I don't know. Like, did you just?
I'm gonna recycle it for 2021.
Like literally, we had my girlfriends and I had this meeting at the beginning of the year on like we're gonna hold each other accountable to making our dreams come true. And it was like 2 weeks before COVID, and it's just like that was all garbage.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I'm just 2021 is just wine and just kind of hanging by the edge. If my vision board just shows me surviving that, I'm fine.
There you go. I mean, the plans, we all had plans, right? What are even plans anymore? Like, who cares?
You can't, like you said, you can't even plan for it.
No.
So speaking of that, I love talking to editors and owners of print magazines because from the PR side, that is like the glam. It's so glamorous. It's the end all be all goal for most brands and businesses is like, Leah, I don't care what you're telling me about digital numbers. I want to see myself in print. And you have a beautiful magazine. You've featured some of my clients and it's amazing. The city of Plano just like loves on the magazine. Tell us how has COVID affected the magazine business for you?
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you for the nice compliments.
It's a beautiful magazine. You should go online and check it out. Seriously.
Yeah. It has affected us, to be transparent. I don't know who hasn't had a business affected this year. If you say it hasn't been affected, you're crazy or lying. So yeah, print is like everybody wants to be in print. It's, we may do 5 or 6 news stories a week. But maybe only one of those actually made it into the print issue. And there's so many benefits to being in print, as a background in graphic design, you always want to see your stuff. You want to hold your work and you want to put it on a coffee table.
I'll frame them.
Oh, we framed our covers. I have friends that told me they framed our covers, which is, we always try to make it a work of art. And I think too, with that graphic design background, it was always, if we're going to go to print, because like I said, we started digital. If we're going to go to print, we want it to look like a coffee table book. We want you to leave it out and look at it over and over. Which,
like I said, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Why wouldn't we?
Well, that's the benefit of print, and that's why people want to be in it. Actually, in the more technical side, that's how they count your numbers, is if it's in a doctor's office, that counts for 10 readers because it sits there.
I never knew that. One issue equals 10?
Yeah, one issue at a doctor's office equals 10, unless they've changed it in the last few years. One issue at a home equals 2.5.
Jenn, I never knew this information.
Yeah. There's a whole background
Mind blown.
Magazine stuff and just how you give your circulation. Like circulation is an equal readership. I won't go into all that, but
I'm the biggest nerd ever, and this is important. I have to explain this to my clients, so that's great because we look at you guys as media kits in determining. Okay, if you did a feature, how does that equate to value? On our side, what is the ROI? So knowing that 1 here equals 10, that's important.
Absolutely. I mean, I think about it all the time, and it's a struggle because a lot of people buy advertising and don't know the questions to ask. And sometimes you see people's media kits and you're like, oh, that number is not right. But people can't just look it up. You know, they don't know how to find out your right numbers. There are always inflated numbers.
I know.
But there is a council that verifies all of our numbers.
Great.
And so it's really interesting. So, yeah, so to get your numbers, you know, one that goes to a home is 2.5 readers. One goes to a doctor's office is 10. That's why a lot of people want to go to doctor's offices. The downside to that, not to go off on a tangent, is it's not in your home, so you don't pick it up multiple times. Or if you saw that ad at the doctor's office and you forgot about it, you can't just pick it back up. So there's that beauty in going to a home, because when you go to a home, like we always tell our advertisers in print, don't just put an ad in there once. That's fine if it's an event, but you want to be in there. If you have a budget, buy a smaller ad and put it in there every issue, because it keeps going to their home, and when they need that haircut, they'll remember your ad.
Right.
But going back to your original question, it has definitely affected us because when you look at print versus digital, print costs so much more than digital. Digital, I mean, you always have those hard costs of, you know, you have to create writing and photography and things like that. But digital, essentially, it's the cost of hosting a website or hosting your email.
Right.
Print is very expensive. That's why you don't see a lot of people doing print. It costs to print it at the printer, which, you know, we do locally, and it costs to have it delivered or mailed. And so we realized, I mean, like, it was crazy. And we mailed our March issue. We sent the March issue out because obviously that was March 1, and then all this happened mid-March. And we are bi-monthly, so our next issue was May, and we were just like, let's just see what's going on. And when it was time to print, we're like, we cannot, it would be irresponsible to pay that much money.
Right.
And we have existing advertisers that we have contracts with, and we've had relationships with for years, and we had to go back to them. And it's, again, that pivoting, that working with people, and they already were in contracts with us just on the advertising side, and say, you know, we value your business. What can we do for you if we're not going to be in print? We pivoted to the digital issue. We put a lot more money and technology behind our digital issue, added video, added animation, things like that. Gave them cost savings, gave them digital bundles. So it has greatly affected us. And the rest of this year, we just suspended print, because you have to make enough in advertising sales to pay for all of the print and then make a profit. And in media, you know, everyone loves media. They want it to be free to them.
Thank you, Jen. I'm so happy that you brought that up, because sometimes I think it's kind of like a underappreciated thing that some publicists do when we sit down and we're like, look, we could probably get this as earned media where you don't have to pay for it. And if you do, you really should go out of your way to share, to support that magazine, because they survive off of paid advertisers, right? And sometimes when people come to the table as a business or brand and you don't have an advertising budget, it's like you can't expect someone to get free mentions for you across the board. So like in what you were saying, and working with your advertisers, there's a benefit to paying, because now you get to sit down and say, what can we do that helps your business via our platform?
Yeah, and that really goes back to something that you've talked about a lot. It's about building relationships. It's not you give me this, I give you that. I pay you, you do this for me. I can't tell you how many people I knew for years in this business that they never paid me a dime, and I never paid them a dime. But we got close. We did things for each other. We referred each other's businesses. We built a relationship. And if we have advertisers who've been with us since day one. I would do anything for them. I mean, you want a social media call out, you got it. That's things that normally cost for other people.
Right.
If you want me to come take pictures at your event and talk about it, absolutely. So it goes back to that. It's really building relationships and not just a transaction.
This is the theme for season 2. Every single person that has come in here so far has boiled everything down to relationships. Like PR is relationships, and not just on a publicist standpoint. If you're the brand or business, if I'm paying, let's just say I pay Plano magazine, we're going to go into like maybe a 3 or 6 month contract. Once we get to know each other, then you may come up with some out of the box things to help my business survive. Whereas before, when we were just kind of getting to know each other, that may not have been like a viable option.
I think the reason you're hearing it more too is this weird world we live in now. It really has turned into so much of your success depends on the relationships you had before. And I heard someone else say this, and it was so true. You can't wait till a disaster like COVID to build the relationship because you need someone's help. It had to have already been there from day one.
That is great. Great.
I heard that.
So happy that
I'm going to
you
go
said
ahead
that.
and say I heard that from Shauna Haley, who is media and communications for City of Plano. She was telling it on a Zoom, and I was like, 100%. I got chills. 100%. You can't wait until the catastrophe to build a relationship. You start that from the minute you meet people. Right? You're like
I'm just shaking my head because it's
so
just
good.
this is so like it's so good. Such valuable advice.
It's like the gardener planting the seeds. You got to do that way in advance.
But doing it in a genuine way where we can read through the bullshit and see that you're just trying to butter me up for X, Y, and Z, right?
And you know what? I will say, not every story we do, not every ad we run, do we have the best relationship. There are some people that are like, I just have this event. I just need to promote it one time. And that's great. I'll do everything I can for them. But it is more transactional. I know that's just kind of a one-time thing. I think we're on the same page there. But like if my magazine's all about Plano and there is some other institution or blogger or influencer or media, in Plano, why would we not partner up? Some of my best partners are people that you would probably think would be my competitors because we look at it as we have a common mission. I help you, you help me. Let's get on the same page. Let's co-promote things. We haven't spent a dime with each other. We've just helped build each other's business up. I do this, they help me out. So this year has really shown me it's all about the relationships.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
What are some other, so since you guys are completely digital as of this point, I'm thinking maybe as things kind of mellow back out, you'll reconsider going back to both print and digital. But as people are kind of weighing the options, what are some of the better advantages of now you guys kind of focusing on digital versus the print side? Because I try to explain this and I just get so much pushback because they want that nice little shiny thing on the coffee table and on the wall where I'm saying, do you know how much one page of that costs?
Yeah.
That you don't want to pay for?
I mean, absolutely. There's definitely benefits to both, but specifically with digital, you get that all important of I can literally tell you how many times that page has been viewed. And now, we're all on our phones and we're constantly, at the doctor's office or whatever on our phones. So the digital, it's shareable. Another limitation with print is it's literally like we just deliver in Plano. Digital, I can share something with someone in Alaska. I could share something with someone anywhere else. So it can travel. I every day look at our website just of what's been viewed. And we literally, it's so weird. Every day we'll have views of stuff that was published 4 or 5 years ago. Every single day.
And you're like, what is trending where all of a sudden people are searching for that thing?
Some of it's random searches. Sometimes I'll see an old article that'll have a lot of views in that day. So it's like someone probably linked to it.
Right.
The digital life, it just never ends.
Right.
So that's one thing that's really special is just being able to share it with anybody. And then it's always there. And another great thing is there's I just found out the other day, I was like, why are we getting all these referrals from this one news app? So downloaded this new news app and it's pulling our site, which, there's a lot of aggregator things that do that. And I was like, wow, there's so many places you can read our stories that I didn't even know about.
Right.
So print is important, digital is important, social is important. It's all, one can't live without the other. They all support each other and just accomplish different things.
Yeah. Just for people to have frame of reference, because most of the listeners are probably business owners, startups, entrepreneurs. What would you advise as far as them having a budget? What should they be budgeting? And I know that it's more beneficial to go into long-term contracts for paid media advertising than short. So what are we looking at here for truly successful campaigns? And then what do they get with it? Which I know that's a loaded question.
Yeah, it is a hard question to answer, especially because every time people ask me that, I'm like, I don't know, talk to my husband because he does that. I think you hit the nail on the head as far as you should never budget, I'm going to spend money on this one ad. So that's my number one thing is have a plan. Otherwise it's the, pay and spray. Have a plan for the whole year, especially if you are opening something new. You should from day one build in marketing into your budget. And then even on year 2, 3,
Say
4,
that 2, 3, 4 times.
even after your first year, you should be putting money into your marketing budget. I have seen so many businesses close that had no reason to close except no one knew about it. But that said, I mean, we're a smaller local magazine. It would be different with somebody that's bigger or Texas Monthly or something like that. But I would say for your marketing budget for the year, at least for a year, 10 to 15,000.
Okay.
For a year. And then there's so many ways to divvy that up that I wouldn't want to give one answer on, because digital looks different than print.
No, I just like to let me manage your expectations and tell you what you should be doing.
I mean, you can get little one-hit wonders for 1,000 or 2,000 or whatever. And of course, we have stuff that goes way down and just literally like you could get something for $200. Right. But I think it is foolish to open a business or run a business and spend nothing on marketing, because it is the worst thing in the world to hear, oh, I never heard of that, when you tell someone about your business. Never heard of that.
Especially if it's amazing. If you have an incredible product or service, there is no reason except you're trying to wear all the hats and you really shouldn't.
I mean, why would you put all the money? People build restaurants or build business.
You're using
why
your
would
life
you do
savings, some of you.
And then you're not telling anyone about it. And look, yes. Can you get free exposure? Yes. There's all kinds of ways to do that. You know about that.
Sometimes you need to invest.
But absolutely, because it all goes back to, if you spend money with me, you're my client forever. Like, we will always do little shout outs, little freebies here and there. And I know other media in Plano and influencers that are exactly the same. Once you spend that first $1 with me, you know, you're on my list. You're on my nice list. Like, we will always be there. We will always be there to support you. So it's just crazy, crazy, crazy foolish to not have a marketing budget.
Well, thank you for all of your advice, Jen. I hate that our time just went like super duper fast. So we'll definitely have to have you come back. But next time we'll just Zoom. I don't know if you like coming here to this podcast studio.
I get to leave. I get to leave my house. Yay.
But I think I love that we talked about this. You're the first person to come on and really kind of hit the nail on the head with the print world. And we can go a little bit further in another episode just about timing and pitching and what that looks like. But this is, I think, is very important as we're looking at COVID cases rising. How smaller businesses probably should be budgeting, because you're going to have to spend on some advertising right now to get at the forefront. So
it's funny.
Like
There's
that.
even, we have another friend that owns a magazine. He's owned it for about 30 years. And he says he's been through the ups and downs, you know, 08, 2000. And he said everyone that still advertised a little through those recessions came out stronger and came back faster than their competitors.
Wow.
And that's not just me saying that to get your money.
Give your money to Jen. But I want to thank you for all of the nuggets that you just dropped. I have a lot to think about. I didn't know some of this, so I'm a nerd. So I was like, this is fascinating information. But how can we follow you, support Plano Magazine, and really just plug in? And if people want to reach out to you, how can they do that?
So everything's at planomagazine.com. You can get links to our social. We are on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, somewhat on YouTube. It's all at Plano Magazine. And you can always reach me at editor@planomagazine.com.
Awesome. I have a real contact information, but that's because we've built a relationship. Okay.
That's right.
Thank you guys for tuning in. If you like this, please share it out. You know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, rate and review. But I think everybody needs this information. So share. If you want to hear more from Jen, hit me up, Leah@think3media.com. Well, actually, I don't care. She's just going to come back. And until next time, thanks for tuning in.